Hey, Molly, you good?
Sorry, just getting in my coffee. It's been a big morning already. I had to rope drop Costco, but I did get a good boarding group. I got boarding group 14 for the Clorox and the toilet paper, so it's been a big day already. Hey everybody, it's Molly with All Ears, and I'm here today, again, in my house, coming to you with a brand new video. Now this video is really fun because it's mistakes that a lot of people make when they go to the Magic Kingdom. Your vacation is so precious, you spent a lot on it, and you want to make sure you have the best time, so don't make these mistakes that a lot of people do. We're talking about blunders with fast passes, with parking, with choosing the wrong meals. I'm going to tell you a couple of the big blunders at Magic Kingdom and how to make sure that you can avoid them. So here we go. Number 1, picking the wrong fast passes. Now, when you're booking your fast passes 60 days out, it's easy to just think, these are a few things that I want to ride, so I'm going to go ahead and book fast passes for it. And yeah, that theory does work, but it also means you're probably not booking the ones that deserve a fast pass, and it probably means you may be booking things that don't deserve a fast pass. So a couple things that I think you should never book an initial fast pass for include Under the Sea, Journey to the Little Mermaid, Dumbo, The Barnstormer, It's a Small World, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Mickey's PhilharMagic, and Mad Tea Party. These attractions typically don't need a fast pass because they usually have the shortest lines in the park regardless of what time of year it is. During the normal times of year, they usually hover around 30, maybe 40 minutes, while other things may have multiple hour waits. During the really busy times of year, these are still generally an hour or less, which is much better than your 4-hour wait over at Space Mountain. That's why you don't need to use a fast pass on attractions that are usually 30 minutes or less. You want to make sure you save those fast passes for the mountains, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight, the attractions that are gonna cost you a long wait. Whereas these are great filler attractions when you're waiting in between those fast passes. If you use your initial fast passes and then want to grab one for Dumbo, great, but don't make Dumbo or any of the ones I just listed part of your initial 3. Other attractions that I don't think are great initial fast pass picks, because you can probably pick them up later, include Winnie the Pooh, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Now, all of these are great attractions. I definitely recommend riding them, and if you can't get a fast pass for, again, Space, Splash, Big Thunder, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight, Haunted Mansion, if you can't get fast passes for those initially, book the other ones. But if you have the option of those great must-use fast pass attractions, you need to book those first. Then, once you've used all 3, you can go in and add more fast passes. Definitely recommend watching my Fast Pass Challenge video at Magic Kingdom, where I was able to get a fast pass for every single attraction that offers it in the park, plus some of them I did twice, and it talks you through the fast pass strategy more. But also, same rules apply for extra magic hours. If you're a resort guest taking advantage of extra magic hours, don't waste your time, your precious extra magic hour time, riding the Barnstormer or the Mad Tea Party or Under the Sea Journey to the Little Mermaid. Use that time when there's less people in the park to conquer the attractions that are going to get longer waits later. If you don't want to do the mountains, then go maybe do some of the characters, maybe do the Haunted Mansion, but don't waste your time on those attractions that when it's busy later in the day, they're still not going to have that long of a wait. This is a good rule anywhere. All of Walt Disney World, you need to mobile order. I cannot tell you how many times, actually it's every time I've ever gone to a restaurant or a snack stand that offers mobile order and I see people waiting in crazy long lines to order your food. You don't have to do that. If you're unfamiliar with mobile order, it's a feature on the My Disney Experience app, which is Disney's app. It's where you get your PhotoPass pictures, it's where you pick your fast passes, and it's how you can mobile order. You go on, you select a restaurant that's available, you select everything you want, you can make notes and substitutions, you can see allergy menus, you can add drinks, you can add sides, you can do it all from the app. Then, when you get to the restaurant, you just let them know that you're there, they'll send you to a special line, and you'll pick it up in just a few minutes, and you don't have to wait in the long line of everybody ordering their food. And a great thing about mobile order is that you can use your Disney dining plan. If you are going somewhere that they have snacks or a quick service meal, you can actually use your Disney dining plan. It'll be hooked up to your My Disney Experience account, and you don't have to pay for it. You can use those dining plan credits on the app. You can add a drink like you normally would, and it'll total out to 0 if you've used the appropriate amount of credits. Now, The reason I put this in the Magic Kingdom video, even though, again, it's great advice for everywhere, is because people often forget that it especially can be used at snack stands. I'm looking at you, Aloha Isle. I know everybody wants to get their Dole Whip while they're on vacation. I absolutely understand it. Aloha Isle, which is in Adventureland, has one of the longest lines for any food location, basically any time of day, because Dole Whip is good, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every meal in between. But don't wait in that long line. Mobile order your delicious pineapple treats, and you'll be much, much happier. I promise you're going to be glad you did. Skipping the Main Street entertainment. Listen, I get it. A lot of people are at Disney World to ride rides, and they get to the park and they run straight to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Space Mountain or whatever they're going to do first, and then they never come back to Main Street. Or maybe you're a little more leisurely and you don't even come into the park until the afternoon. But when you do either of these things, you're missing some quintessential Disney magic. And that's all of the entertainment that happens right there on Main Street, USA. For starters, you've got the Dapper Dans, one of my all-time favorite things in Walt Disney World. It's a barbershop quartet that sing classic barbershop songs as well as Disney tunes, and they are an absolute delight, and I challenge you to watch them and not have a smile on your face. You'll also miss the citizens of Main Street. Yes, Main Street, USA is a town at the turn of the century, and they have the suffragettes out there, they've got the mayor, they've got the fire chief, and they all want to talk to you, so you should talk to them. You're in their town after all, it's polite. You've also got the Main Street Philharmonic, which is the marching band. They will play sets out on Main Street, and that is, again, I challenge you to go watch the marching band with all their hijinks while they're playing Under the Sea and not have a big smile on your face. Main Street also has vehicles, some old school vehicles that you can ride down to the castle like an old Omnimover bus. Oh, I almost forgot the trolley show, another one of my favorite things on Main Street. It's the trolley pulled down the middle of the street on Main Street, USA by a big horse, and you've got the trolley dancers, and they're going to do a little song and dance for you. I really wish I was on Main Street, USA right now. Not using package pickup. This is another great tip that you should definitely be using at all 4 parks, but I especially bring it up for Magic Kingdom. Package pickup is a service, a free, complimentary service where Disney will ship your items that you purchase at stores throughout the park to the front of the park so you can pick up your package on the way out and not have to lug it around. And if you're staying at a Disney resort, they can also ship it to your resort gift shop so you can pick it up the next day or the day after at the gift shop and really not have to lug it around. So a lot of people don't know that this is an option, or they only think it's for resort guests, but no, anyone can take advantage of it. And the reason I suggest it, especially at Magic Kingdom, is one, that's the most popular park. You're going to do a lot of shopping, and there's a lot of really cool, unique gift shops with items you're not going to find anywhere else. As a general rule in Walt Disney World, if you are in one of the gift shops that's special to that park or that attraction, you're not going to find all of those things somewhere else. So a lot of people think, oh, I can just go to World of Disney at Disney Springs and I can get this really cool Haunted Mansion t-shirt that I saw at the Haunted Mansion gift shop. That's probably not true. So if you see something unique, specific to where you are, you're going to want to buy it, but don't lug it around, ship it to the front of the park. Some of these cool gift shops in Magic Kingdom are Memento Mori, which is Haunted Mansion themed merchandise. There is Briar Patch Gifts at Splash Mountain, and that's really cool Splash Mountain stuff. They've got a lot more princess stuff than they do at the other parks, especially more than like Animal Kingdom at Epcot and Fantasyland. Pirates of the Caribbean has a really cool gift shop, so if you see any of these cool things, grab it, do package pickup. I will say the one rule logistic you have to keep in mind with package pickup is it's not immediate. You can't buy it and then like 20 minutes later be at the front of the park expecting to be able to pick it up, which why would you even ship it at that point? But there's like a 3 or 4 hour time for it to get to the front of the park. So make sure you talk to the cast members about that. Same thing if you're checking out the next day. They're not going to be able to do it because they want to guarantee they have enough time to get it. So I believe it's 24 or 48 hours that you're staying for them to be able to ship it to the resorts. But this is such an easy service. It's such a great service that a lot of people forget about. And you don't want to be lugging that stuff around all day. I promise. A big thing people don't do, they don't think to do, maybe they're intimidated, they don't want to do it, or they don't know to do it, is request seats on certain attractions. Yeah, that's right. It depends on where you sit, the different experience you're going to get. So don't be afraid, talk to the cast members, be nice, and more than likely they'll be able to accommodate you. Maybe if you've got like a gigantic party, they won't, or if it's super, super busy, like on Christmas Day or something, they may not be able to. But for the most part, if you ask a cast member about a seat preference, they're going to help you out. For me, I have to request seats at 2 different places if possible at Magic Kingdom. The first is Splash Mountain. talked about this before, but I don't love getting wet on attractions. And even though I enjoy Splash Mountain, I'm not trying to come off of that ride soaked. So I like to sit in the back row. If you want to request sitting in the back row, definitely do that. The cast members will understand. Another place I love to request the back row is at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. As a general rule, on any roller coaster, the back is going to be more fun, crazy, wilder ride because it's like the tail of the snake and it's going to whip you around, as opposed to the front that's got to like click onto the track. So if you've got a newbie, maybe go for the front of the car or somewhere in the middle of the car. But if you are ready for the true wildest ride in the wilderness, you've got to request the back row on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Be Our Guest is one of the most popular restaurants in Disney World. If you're unfamiliar, it takes you inside of the Beast Castle from Beauty and the Beast, and it truly brings it to life around you. You'll get to eat in one of 3 rooms. They have a ballroom, they have the West Wing, and then they have a room that was designed by the Imagineers for the restaurant called the Rose Gallery. Because it's so popular and hard to get a reservation, of course, if there's only one thing available, you should take it. If you really want to go, you should take what you can get: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But what's unique about Be Our Guest is that breakfast and lunch are quick service meals, whereas dinner is a signature restaurant. That means if you're on the dining plan, you're going to use a quick service credit for breakfast or lunch, and you're going to use 2 table service credits for dinner. If you're paying out of pocket, breakfast is $29 per person, whereas lunch is between like $15 and $20 per entree, and dinner is a preset 3-course meal, and it's $62 per person. So if you have the choice, which one are you going to pick? Lunch. That is the correct answer. Lunch, especially if you're paying out of pocket, is the best meal at Be Our Guest because all 3 of them are going to get you inside the castle, which is what you want. The only difference at dinner is the Beast may be there. So if that's worth a lot to you, then sure, spend $60 on it or use 2 table service credits. But if all you want is to go inside the Beauty and the Beast castle, lunch is your best bet. The food is amazing. It's very high quality. So even though it is more expensive than most of the quick service meals in the park, feels like a table service meal, and it's a lot of food. So you're going to be full and you're going to be able to get the most out of it. Breakfast, if you're paying out of pocket, is very expensive, and for the food alone, probably not worth the cost. If you're on the dining plan, that's more of an argument to do breakfast. But still, for me, if I have the choice, if I'm looking at it and all 3 are available, because I'm booking 180 days out, then I'm going to go for lunch. So think about that. Keep that in mind when you're booking that dining reservation. I know it's amazing to get in the Beast Castle, but you want to make sure you're doing it smartly. And if you're not going to spend the $60 on dinner there, maybe you could go to a signature restaurant at Walt Disney World that's going to have better food and be another amazing experience, like California Grill, Jico, Yachtsman Steakhouse, Citrico's, and you could have 2 amazing dining experiences if you're smart about what you eat at Be Our Guest. When to go to Fantasyland. So the way the park is designed, it's like a hub and spoke where you've got the different lands running around the park. Now, if you are there at Rope Drop, you're probably going straight to Fantasyland to try and get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or you may be going to Tomorrowland to get on Space Mountain, or Frontierland to get on Big Thunder and Splash. But a lot of people, when they come to the park, they just pick a direction. Most of them pick Tomorrowland. Most people go to the right. Fewer people go to Adventureland, which, another tip, go to Adventureland first. But that means all those people that get there in the morning, they're walking, and where do they end up right in the middle of the afternoon? Fantasyland. I like to call it stroller gridlock. Fantasyland is much more crowded in the middle of the day because that's when most people end up in Fantasyland. So do yourself a favor, try to avoid Fantasyland in the middle of the day. Either go straight there first thing in the morning and knock out a bunch of those attractions, or wait till the evening time, especially if the park is open later than the fireworks, or if you don't care about fireworks, go during that time because a lot of the people with younger kids are gonna leave and then you can have Fantasyland all to yourself. So again, Fantasyland right in the middle of the day, strollers everywhere. It's like a stroller traffic jam. If you can, avoid Fantasyland that time of day. Underestimating the parking situation and what it means and what you have to do to get to the Magic Kingdom. So a lot of people don't realize that if you're driving a car, you don't actually get to park at the Magic Kingdom. You have to park at the Transportation and Ticket Center. After you've parked at the Transportation and Ticket Center, you'll either have to walk to the front of it or you can take a tram, wait for a tram, and ride that to the front of the Transportation and Ticket Center. Then you're going to have to go through a security line. Then you're going to have to wait for either a ferry boat or a monorail to take you over to the Magic Kingdom. So if you think you can park at the Transportation and Ticket Center and be to the Magic Kingdom within 15 minutes, that's probably not gonna happen. A lot of people don't realize that, and that causes them undue stress right first thing at the beginning of the day. Because of all of the logistics and all of the hurdles you have to go through to get to the Magic Kingdom park itself, to get to the main entrance, you need to make sure you're allotting enough time, especially first thing in the morning or during really busy seasons, because you may not make the first monorail or the first ferry boat. You may have a really long line at security. It may take a while for a tram to show up. You want to make sure you allot at least an hour from the parking lot to get to the front of the park. It may not take that long, and if it doesn't, great, you just got extra park time. But that way, if you do have to wait for 2 or 3 monorails, you're not stressing out and worried that you're gonna miss your Fast Pass or miss the parade or miss whatever it is you're excited to do. The same thing does go for the resort transportation. If you are coming from a Disney World resort, you are either going to be arriving via monorail, via boat, or via bus for most of the Disney resorts. And again, same thing. First thing in the morning during the really busy times of year, you may go to get on the monorail first thing in the morning, and you may not make the first bus, the first monorail, the first boat, and you're going to have to wait a while. Don't let this stress you out. Don't let this be how you start your day. Make sure you allot ample time. I generally tell myself and my family that to allot 45 minutes to an hour to get anywhere within Magic Kingdom or within Walt Disney World. And again, it's probably not going to take that long, but if it does, you didn't miss your dining reservation. And if it doesn't, well, bonus time to play in the park. One of the best things at Magic Kingdom are the parades. Whether you're there for a normal day and seeing Festival of Fantasy, or you're there at one of the parties at Not So Scary or Very Merry and you're watching the seasonal parades at Disney World, definitely a must-do, should not be missed. But where you sit for said parade can make a huge difference in your parade watching experience. Now, all of the parades at this point step off in Frontierland. They go all the way through Frontierland, turn through Liberty Square, go in front of the castle, and then all the way down Main Street through Town Square, and then they are gone. And people, no matter where it is on the parade route, start lining up at least an hour early. You'll see people start staking out their seats. And a lot of people think the best seats are on Main Street USA. You've got the castle in the background. It's beautiful. Can't argue with that. But because the parade steps off on the other side of the park, not only do you have to wait for 3 o'clock or whatever time the parade's actually starting, you also have to wait for the parade to get to you, which could be an extra 30 to 40 minutes depending on which parade it is and where you are standing on Main Street. So now you're standing outside in the heat, you're not taking advantage of ride times, your kids are crabby and cranky and they don't want to sit still, and it's just not as fun. And it's more crowded, that's where everybody's standing. My advice to you is to pick a seat in Frontierland, maybe even Liberty Square, for a few reasons. One, even though you're still staking out your seat an hour early, the parade's actually going to start. You're going to see the beginning of it, so you're not waiting an hour and a half for the parade. 2, as soon as the parade's done, you can usually jet to some of those big attractions. If you plan it right and you're on the Splash Mountain side of Frontierland, as soon as that parade's done, run to Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. They're probably not going to have very long lines. And 3, a lot of people leave after the parade as a midday break. And if you are on Main Street, you are going to get caught in this cluster, this herd of people waiting for the parade to finish to then exit the park. Especially if you're not planning on leaving, now you're fighting all the traffic that's going out of the park, you're trying to get back into the park. It's kind of a headache. So pick the best seats possible. The parade's the same no matter where you sit. You're gonna have less people, you're gonna wait less time, and you'll be able to possibly get on a couple of attractions quickly if you start watching the parade from Frontierland versus Main Street USA.
Oh, hello there. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. How are you? Eek.
Well, that wraps up common mistakes a lot of people make in the Magic Kingdom. Have you made one of these mistakes before? What's your best tip for touring the Magic Kingdom? Definitely let us know in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. Thank you so much for following, especially right now in these crazy times. Truly appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.